fell down into an area, and then all kinds of rubble and dirt and rock completely buried this individual.
At that point, I just started sending prayers to him.
Very long.
Thinking about his family.
Very tedious.
Thinking about if this person had loved ones.
Very slow-going process.
We are fortunate to have the hardworking, amazing men and women of the Louisville Fire Department.
This is what our firefighters do. This is why we took this job. We want to help people.
On the WHAS11 night team right now at 11 o'clock, it is triumph over tragedy. Hello, everybody. Thank you for joining us. I'm Doug Prophet. He's alive and rescued. The wonderful moment for our community happening at 8:26 p.m. tonight. Team coverage of the construction worker who was pulled from the debris right before our eyes. WHAS11's Ian Hardwitt with the fire chief. He says he's never seen anything like this. Alexandra Goldberg talking to a local man who watched and prayed for hours, along with photojournalists Emma Gefter, Aspen Hester, and chief photojournalist Philip Merle. Ian begins our coverage describing the moment on East Chestnut Street as it happened.
It's the moment they waited all day and night to see. Pulled 10 feet out of the ground. The time, 8:26, after hours underground.
I've never seen anything like this.
He's alive. The construction worker Louisville held its breath for. Covered in concrete dust, carried out by the Louisville Fire Department, he made his way off the job site, into an ambulance, and right around the corner to University Hospital, where his family waited.
Basically, a floor gave way beneath them, so that collapsed. They fell down into an area, and then all kinds of rubble and dirt and rock completely buried this individual.
Here's a photo from Deputy Mayor David James taken by an overhead drone right after the man went into the hole. In the middle of your screen, that yellow helmet is his head. Rescuers believe that helmet created an air pocket, the reason he survived. Now look here, after hours of digging, that helmet was still on. Throughout the day, after the 11:40 a.m. concrete landslide, firefighters worked carefully, bucket by bucket.
And we're having to slowly dig it out by hand, because every time you move some small bit, you have more stuff that's falling in. Think about a person at the base of a funnel, and that funnel just keeps pouring things down onto them.
And as the rescue drew to a close, rescuers sucked the rubble out with heavy equipment from MSD. The fire department also used propane and blowers, pumping heat down to the trapped man. The whole time conscious, the worker actually dug himself out too.
He was able to talk through with us, but yeah, he was in a lot of pain. This was a pretty severe accident.
After nearly 8 hours in this rescue, finally, that sigh of relief. A man will go back home to his family tonight. In Louisville, Ian Hardwitt for the WHAS11 night team, on your side.
It is so unbelievable, and our coverage isn't finished yet tonight. It wasn't until tonight that the chief revealed the extreme conditions and the dire circumstances this man and the firefighters faced for hours. We knew he was several feet underground, but later we learned he had been buried and pinned. WHAS11 night team's Alexandra Goldberg and photojournalist Aspen Hester are back on East Chestnut Street right now live, where one man also waited and waited for word along with everyone else. Quite a scene you saw there today, Alexandra.
Doug, right. One man that I spoke with said that he was watching the rescue for hours, and he said a great line. He said, a normal day at work can turn into anything. And I think that really encompasses how the community is feeling. They're both shocked by the gravity of this situation, but also very grateful for a successful rescue.
High fives and fist bumps the moment after a construction site worker is rescued. The chief says completely buried under debris and nearly 12 feet underground.
All it was is at that moment, once he actually got out, it was a quick, just a nod and a little fist bump around the pile there, knowing, hey, we got one.
It was a nearly 9-hour-long rescue at the former Community Correctional Center, now an active demolition site for the new Louisville Medical Complex.
For right now, it's a waiting game. It's very suspenseful.
Aunt Wyatt watching from the top floor of a parking garage just before sundown.
Been out here for 5 hours, on this rooftop for 5 hours, but he's been in debris, trapped and collapsed for more than that. So
Praying, he said, for hours for a safe rescue.
for me to be here and send as many prayers as I can, hope for safety, this is the least that I feel like I can do. I don't know this person, but I hope and pray that this person will be okay.
Authorities said they couldn't provide any details about how the floor gave way underneath the worker.
And right now I just feel really emotional with anger and a little bit of anger on like, why did this happen to this individual, and like he's stuck down there. And I know myself, I'm claustrophobic, so I would be freaking out.
Louisville Fire Chief Brian O'Neill calling the rescue a tempered celebration. Both a tragedy, but a success.
We've seen a lot of trench rescues over the 24 years that I've been doing this. I've never seen anything like this.
And watching from the sidelines, hoping for that moment.
It forms a sense of unity for me in the community of Louisville when we all come together for this person. And when this person comes out, I'll leave.
Well, we also spoke with Mayor Craig Greenberg, who said he spoke with the worker's mother. He said that the family is at the University of Louisville Hospital with the worker who is being treated there. Live in Louisville, Alexandra Goldberg, WHAS11 Night Team, on your side. Doug.
All right, thank you, Alexandra. And in coverage tonight, now you can watch the moment of rescue and that news conference with the mayor right afterwards. The unedited videos posted right now on the WHAS11 YouTube page. This is certainly a triumphant end, folks, to a tragic week for this community. The Louisville Fire Department has been in the middle of it all. First with the Clifton explosion, and now this. Louisville Fire Chief Brian O'Neill is going to be joining us live right here on WHAS 11 News at 5 o'clock tomorrow to talk about this week and that rescue. Right now, new tonight, we're finally getting some answers from the company whose plant exploded on Tuesday. Givaudan telling us they will be at a community meeting in the Clifton neighborhood Monday night. That meeting is being held at the United Crescent Hill Ministries building on State Street starting at 6 p.m. Monday. It was called together by community members. While neighbors are glad the company's going to be at their meeting, WHAS 11 Night Team's Clarice Shaley found some neighbors say Monday is too long to wait for answers.
I've cried enough. Been upset enough.
Shelby Dix's home damaged by the Givaudan plant explosion.
This ceiling right here actually fell in on my kid's father.
Everything covered in rubble and a sticky substance.
Everything was destroyed in that explosion.
It's day 3 and Dix still hasn't heard from Givaudan.
I'm homeless, and it's right before Christmas, right before the holidays. So it's just really upsetting.
She plans on attending the Monday night meeting held by the Clifton Community Council, meant to be informative for neighbors. The president of the council concerned about the communication as well.
And I have been incredibly disappointed and surprised that they haven't been on site to talk to us.
We're hearing for the first time from the company after asking about what the response plan is and even reimbursement for the people that have been affected by this explosion. In a statement, they say they're first reaching out to employees and families who lost loved ones and will then reach out to the community to provide resources for repairs. They also plan on attending that Monday night meeting.
And our neighbors want to talk to them.
WHAS told him about the company's plans.
I want them to be able to actively listen and participate in the conversation.
He expects the company to walk into a room that will be respectful but still very frustrated about the situation.
I just feel like they should be more urgent with that. I just want everything to go back. I just want closure. I want them to tell me what they're going to do for me.
O'Leary expects Givaudan to come with compensation information and assistance in repairs. He also hopes they plan to help people who've lost their homes while they struggle to lock down new housing. In the Clifton neighborhood, Clarice Shaley, WHAS 11 Night Team, on your side.
The company also now has a way for impacted people to contact them for information and to report even more property damage. When calling this number on your screen, it is 1-800-856-3333. You're asked to reference DDW or Givaudan. And you can also email communitysupport@ddwcolor.com. As neighbors look to the future of the company, Louisville Mayor Craig Greenberg says the company should leave the Clifton neighborhood. Neighbors we've spoken to have been calling for the plant to leave the neighborhood after the blast, and that frustration has only been growing with the lack of communication from the company. The mayor today not asking Givaudan to completely leave Louisville, just move away from the neighborhood.
I hope that the company considers a different location. I think there are better locations in the city of Louisville for a facility like this. There are other locations that are by rail lines that are easy to get to and from, that are not in such close proximity to so many houses.
Kentucky Governor Andy Beshear also expressing his frustration with the company during his Team Kentucky update today. Beshear calling out the company for its lack of presence on site after the explosion.
We have two individuals who are dead, whose families are mourning, and a lot of others that are hurt. To operate where they operate, they need to be out in that community, telling people first what happened, or telling them that they're committed to finding out what happened, and then to be fully transparent about it.
Governor went on to say that the Kentucky OSHA office is conducting an investigation. Louisville Arson and the ATF also working together to determine the exact cause of the explosion. New tonight on the night team, the head of Metro ABC is now being sued for defamation for comments he made about a local DJ while denying a bar's liquor license permit in the Highlands. Louisville ABC denied Baxter's 942's liquor license renewal late last month. In their denial, they cited repeated acts of violence, which they connected to the bar's hiring of DJ Little Jerry and Friends. Now that DJ is suing Brad Silveria, the head of Metro ABC, saying the claims he made against the DJ are false. The DJ in the lawsuit filed today says his reputation has been harmed and he's lost income due to the claims. There are still a lot of unanswered questions on the disappearance of Scott County, Indiana mother Amanda Martin, but the sheriff's office there believes they may have found her body in the same area where she was last seen. Sheriff Jerry Gooden says they are almost certain the human remains they found in the woods about 8 miles east of Scottsburg, that of Amanda Martin, who disappeared on September 13th. Until there is a positive identification, they will continue to work the case as if Martin were alive.
Not assuming anything right now. That's the reason why I say we're waiting for positive identification. We're still working a missing persons case. We're still looking for Amanda Martin. Until we get positive identification, we really can't switch gears.
Martin's family did not want to speak on camera today, but in a statement said, "We appreciate all concern, well wishes, and prayers we've received in the last 2 months, and even more so in the last 24 hours. While the circumstances are not what we had hoped, we are grateful to be closer to closure and to knowing exactly what happened." One person is in critical condition tonight after a house fire that happened in Fern Creek today. The Fern Creek Fire Department says they responded to the fire on Lantana Drive just after 4 o'clock this afternoon. Fire crews say they found one person inside who was unconscious. They were taken to the hospital where they are currently listed in critical condition. It took approximately 20 firefighters 15 minutes to bring the blaze under control, and the home, as you can see, sustained heavy damage. Arson squad also looking into the cause. And tonight, the beloved Mid-City Mall in the Highlands of Louisville is now up for sale. Mid-City Mall is housed right between Baxter Avenue and Bardstown Road, and it contains the Baxter Avenue Theaters, a branch of the Louisville Free Public Library, and a value market, supermarket, as well as several other local businesses. Right now, no price is listed for the 11.5-acre property, but in May of this year, the mall's owner said the retail space was worth $11.3 million. Mid-City was owned by the Metz family for decades.